I stopped packing my husband's lunch and he spent $400 in a month. I've packed Dave's lunch every workday for 11 years. Not because he ever asked me to. I just started doing it back when we were newlyweds and broke, and it stuck. A sandwich, some fruit, whatever leftovers we had. A little note some days when I was feeling sweet. Takes me maybe 10 minutes while the coffee brews. I honestly never thought about it much. It was just a thing I did, like feeding the cat. Then a couple months back we had some of his coworkers over for dinner. Nice night, everyone's a few glasses of wine in, and one of the wives asks Dave how he stays so trim eating sad desk lunches all week. And Dave laughs and goes, "Oh, that's just leftovers Sarah throws in a bag. Nothing fancy. I barely even notice it, honestly. I barely even notice it." I laughed too, right along with the table. But I heard it. 11 years of getting up early, and it's leftovers in a bag he barely notices. I didn't say anything that night. I'm not the type to make a scene at my own dinner table. But the next morning I just didn't. Made my coffee, made my own lunch, and left his half of the counter empty. He didn't even notice for 2 days. Grabbed something from the work cafeteria, I guess, and never mentioned it. On the third day he goes, "Hey, no lunch again? You feeling okay?" I said, "I'm fine. Figured you barely notice it, so." He blinked at me. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing," I said. "Have a good day, Han." And that was it. I didn't explain. He didn't ask again. He just started buying lunch every day like it was no big deal. Here's the thing though. We share a checking account. Have for years. So I get to watch the whole thing happen in real time. $14 Monday. 18 on Tuesday because he got the good poke bowl. 22 on Wednesday when he took a client. And on the days he was slammed, he'd just DoorDash something to the office, which is the food plus the delivery fee plus the service fee plus the tip. I watched a $9 burrito turn into $26. I didn't say a word. I just let it ride. By the end of the first month, I sat down and added it up. $411 on lunch for one person. The statement came and he was scrolling through it on the couch, and I watched his face do this little thing. He goes, "Why is our food spending so high? Did we do something different this month?" I said, "Nope, everything's exactly the same on my end." He kept scrolling. "There's like 30 charges here from places by my office." "Yeah," I said, "that's lunch." He looked up. "You stopped packing my lunch 2 months ago," I said. "You didn't notice for 2 days, remember?" He got real quiet. Then he goes, "Well, can you just start again? This is adding up." And there it was. Not, "I'm sorry I called 11 years of your effort leftovers in a bag." Not, "I didn't mean it that way." Just, "Can you start again? This is adding up." I put my tea down. I said, "Dave, do you remember what you said at dinner? In front of your whole crew?" He said he didn't, which is the answer men give when they remember exactly. "You said you barely notice it, so I stopped doing the thing you barely notice, and it turns out it was worth about $400 a month to barely notice." He said that was petty. He said I was making a point out of a joke. I said, "It wasn't a joke to me. I got up early for 11 years. You want the lunches back? Then they're worth something. Say they're worth something." He said, "It's just a sandwich, Sarah." I said, "Then it's just $400, Dave. You can afford it. You barely notice it." He didn't have anything for that. So here's where we landed. I still make my coffee every morning. I still make my own lunch. His half of the counter is still empty, and it's staying empty until just a sandwich turns into thank you. He's on month 2 of the poke bowls.